We are cooking up some delicious food on a frugal budget, of course. We need to use up the food that we harvested from last fall. And I've got to make some zucchini bread and maybe some other kind of zucchini dish. And the main protein I'm using in this is pulled pork from a large pork roast that I purchased recently from Walmart. It was an amazing deal for $21, 8 pounds. You can't beat that. And that's the way to go rather than buying it at the restaurants and the delis and just getting a little bit and spending a whole bunch of money. It's better just to put it in the crock pot and cook it yourself. And I'll be showing you that in this video also. So let's get started. We have a lot to cook up. We have shredded zucchini that we thawed out from the freezer. So what I'm going to do is to weight this down, I want to get the water out of it. I have a bowl and I want to weight this down. I'm going to put that butternut squash on top of that and drain out that excess water. We are sifting the dry ingredients into a large bowl. To the dry mix, we add 3 beaten eggs, cooking oil and sugar, vanilla, and blend that together very well. 2 cups of grated or shredded zucchini. Fold in chopped or crushed walnuts. If you're allergic to nuts or you don't care for nuts, just omit this. If you prefer pecans, use pecans. That sounds good right now, but pecans are so expensive. Just want to mix it up really good. This recipe makes 2 loaves of zucchini bread, and I'm just spreading it in the pans. Batter bakes in the oven at 325 Fahrenheit preheated for 40 to 60 minutes. I'll check them after 45 minutes. The zucchini bread is done. The little one took about 53 minutes. The large one took 63 minutes. So they weren't evened out because I don't have pans that are even. So that is a purchase I would like to make, to get another pan this size. There, I made it easy for my husband. I cut him a piece of zucchini bread already. I just cut a butternut squash in half, and we might be able to cook it enough where it's so soft that we won't even have to puree it in the food processor. That's what I'm hoping for. I want to make butternut and squash macaroni and cheese. Bake the squashes in the oven at 400 Fahrenheit for about 50 minutes. You can check this after 45 minutes if you like. It can take anywhere between 45 and 60 minutes to bake butternut squash that is half. And the butternut squash is baked all the way through thoroughly, and I believe this is very soft. And what I did was I took the largest part of each butternut squash, and we're going to use this for dessert. You just melt some butter with a little brown sugar. Notice this one is shaped like a heart. This section of the squashes, we're going to smash it down and use it for the macaroni and cheese. I'm taking it out of the skin. And we're going to see how much we have. I have it directly going into a measuring cup. Mash it all down. If you got any skin in there, you can take it, you can remove it if you like. Let's see how much we have. It's right at 1.5 cups, maybe a little over. If we had used all of the butternut squash, it would be about 3 cups for sure, maybe even more than that. That was a large butternut squash. Now we're getting ready to make the butternut squash mac and cheese. Now, one way that I always save money and calories is by decreasing the amount of cheese that I use. However, in this case, we don't have to do that because I get such a good deal on block cheese at Walmart. So we're going to use the total 2 cups that the recipe calls for. We have just the right amount, and this just works out for me every time. That's how I know I'm meant to grow butternut squash and pumpkins, because somehow the measurements always turn out perfect after roasting for whatever I'm going to prepare afterward. While the macaroni is cooking, we are going to prepare cheese and butternut squash sauce. And I've got it turned on very low, almost as low as it would go. Add milk gradually and whisk away. Altogether, I added 2 cups of milk. This recipe calls for nutmeg and rosemary. That's not something my husband enjoys, so we are going to use garlic powder and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. to flavor this sauce. Stir in butternut squash and cheese and add a little salt and pepper. This is ready. What we're going to do is add the macaroni. We added the rest of the cheese. This looks really good. We have a pork shoulder butt roast. It is just a little over 8 pounds. It costs $2.54 per pound. That came to $21. That's a good deal. We got it from Walmart. It is a Tyson brand. It's nice and fresh. We are ready to wash this, dry this. Then we're going to put on a dry rub. Pat dry it the best you can with paper towels. I just want this to be as dry as possible before we sear it. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a tablespoon of kosher salt, a tablespoon of paprika. I do not have smoked paprika. We got cumin and paprika. Now we're just going to use 1 tablespoon of each seasoning. Garlic powder. Onion powder. There's the black pepper. And 1 teaspoon of ground mustard. Mix all these spices and condiments together here. Pat the dry rub onto the pork roast, the top and the sides. Make sure your pan is heated on low and go ahead and sear the pork roast. Sear it on both sides. We'll sear it on the fat side now. This is supposed to enhance the flavor of the roast when you're cooking it in the crock pot. Here's the crock pot. We're going to transfer the roast over to the crock pot. There we go. I just made some chicken broth yesterday from a rotisserie chicken, and I'm going to add it to this cup, and then we're going to fill it up till we have 2 cups of water. I just want to whisk this in better because some of the chicken broth gelled. Cook the pot roast fat side up to baste the meat as it cooks. Add the chicken broth. So it's on. Let's put a lid on it. There we go. And we'll cook this on low for 8 to 10 hours. We're making a gravy with wine and beef broth. We've got drippings from searing the pork roast in this pan. And we'll just cook down the beef broth with the wine, and then we'll make a cornstarch slurry to thicken it. This will be for one of our meals, but we use that pork roast for various meals. A little bit of cornstarch and water. You can use milk also, but I don't want milk in this gravy. As soon as you put it in, go ahead and whisk. So this will thicken it slightly, but I want this to be a very thin gravy. Continue whisking and wait till it starts to boil again, and it should be ready. The crock pot, it's been on for 8.5 hours. We'll see if this is tender. And it is very tender. Look at that. Wow. And I can just break it forth with 2 forks. Super tender, so this does work. If you want this meat to have texture, take it out of the liquid, put it in a bowl, and shred it. Look at that. I'm just going to go through and shred it with two forks very easily. And we have our shredded pork, our pulled pork. This pulled pork is super tender, and I added some barbecue sauce. But I'm going to portion this out, and we're going to put quite a bit of pulled pork into the freezer for different meals over the spring and possibly into the summer. Just going to cook up some red beans and rice to go with that pulled pork. Boiling some water. You can add a little butter or olive oil to this also. And when it boils, I'm going to add the rice mix. Cover with the lid and turn it down to simmer for 25 to 30 minutes. Oil's heated up. I'm just going to add a little bit of minced onion because I don't have onions right now. Add that. You can hear it sizzle. Toss it around with the hot oil and minced onion. I'm going to add a little bit more minced onion. There we go. And we'll cook this until it reduces down. Add a little lemon juice or fresh lemon. And of course, add salt and pepper according to taste. And this is a wonderful, very healthy side dish. And here's the pulled pork with the drizzle of barbecue sauce, the sauteed spinach, and the red beans and rice. I also created a quick meal using pork and gravy over a baked potato with cheese. And this was really easy to do, mainly because I microwaved the potato. I wanted to get outside to the garden, so I needed a quick meal. So this was an excellent idea. And I just prepared some mixed vegetables with the meal. Working with the sweet potato, I'm shredding it. And we're going to use the zucchini and sweet potato in like a fritter. Actually, it's a hash brown patty. This takes just a little more elbow grease to shred than the white potatoes, but it's well worth it. I added the shredded zucchini to the sweet potato mix. We have just a little bit more sweet potato than we do zucchini, but that will be fine. You can mix in your seasoning along with the vegetables here. I went ahead and mixed it into the flour, so I think it will be fine. I'm going to add the flour mix a little bit at a time. We have 2 beaten eggs. I'm going to go ahead and mix that in. We'll just mix everything together here. I'm going to turn on the skillet, and there's 1 tablespoon of cooking oil, which is olive oil that we're using. Everything is mixed up very well. We're ready to start the frying process. 1 flattened teaspoon at a time. And we'll flatten them out a little bit. This is the first time I made these now. I think they're going to be pretty good. Well, we'll see. I'm going to start turning them over. Oh yeah, these are looking good. And these look done. I'm going to put them onto a tray over here with a paper towel. We have our fritters. I don't want to say fritters, but they're hash brown, vegetable hash browns. And I'm going to be doing a couple more batches here and going to use up all of this batter. Second batch here, I made them a lot larger. Also, I'm using just that 1 tablespoon of oil so far. I haven't used any more oil. Now, the recipe called for 5 tablespoons. That's, as far as I'm concerned, that's not necessary, but I may have to add another tablespoon. I need that oil. Just a little bit more, but I don't think we need nearly as much as what it called for. But use your own discretion. Make these patties your own. Okay. These are pretty thick, so they're going to cook a while. We get quite a bit of patties there, some larger than the others. I'm cooking these sausages. They're chicken, sausage, apple, and the instructions are on the back, but I'm just going to do it in the skillet with 1/2 inch of water. I'm going to cover the pan and cook these for about 8 to 10 minutes. Sausages were purchased at Walmart and they were marked down. And we're making scrambled eggs. And here is a complete brunch including zucchini bread and peaches, which are garnished with fresh mint from the garden. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you on the next one.